Napster launched its service as a peer-to-peer network, P2P for short, to share files, specifically music. It allowed users to have access to audio files that others had, specifically Napster members. At the time, Napster did not charge for the music download. It was all free. Napster did not last long due to that fact, and it violated a lot of copyrighted material of many artists, producers, and other musical artists. The RIAA, Recording Industry Association of America, filed a lawsuit and won the case, which shut Napster down in 2001. Napster then re-released after being purchased by Roxio using the strong brand name and programming to become a press and play music store very similar to iTunes. Kazaa came out around the same time as Napster. It was also a peer-to-peer network very similar to Napster to share files among other users. Introduced March 2001 by Consumer Empowerment. Consumer Empowerment was sued the first year by Buma and Stemra, a Dutch music publisher. Consumer Empowerment sued again by music and motion pictures industry. In the USA, fortunately, Kazaa had a lot of malware problems. Downloading the actual program gave you a lot of spyware.
LimeWire is a peer-to-peer service which allowed the download of more than just music. It allowed movies, programs, and later on video games.
A torrent is a file which contains metadata about files and folders that are to be distributed. A torrent doesn't actually contain the files to be downloaded, but rather the data required to obtain the files. Data such as file names, file sizes, folder structures, as well as cryptographic hash values to verify the integrity of the files to be downloaded. A torrent file is a specially formatted binary file which has the extension .torrent. What that file does is act as a key or gateway to downloading the files requested. One would normally obtain the file by visiting a torrent search engine and searching for the desired item to be downloaded. One popular torrent search engine is torrents.eu, which allows a user to search across many different torrent search engines. Recently, the popular torrent site has had their domain suspended in the result of a request made by the Police Intellectual Property Crime Unit in the United Kingdom. The company still continues to operate under alternative domains and plans to fight the action taken by the UK government. A torrent client is needed to open the torrent file that has been downloaded. Some popular torrent clients include BitLord and MuTorrent. The clients read the data stored in the file downloaded. There is one large difference between peer-to-peer services like Kazaa and Napster and torrent technologies. While peer-to-peer is technically a host-to-host transfer where the entire file or files are transferred between two different users, torrents use a process known as swarm transfer, in which the files are broken down into many smaller pieces, which can then be downloaded from many different sources, making for much faster download speeds.
Internet piracy and the legal ramifications. There are legal and non-legal consequences for being caught using software illegally. The legal consequences range from monetary fines to civil and criminal charges. The monetary fines can be up to $250,000. The criminal penalties include felony charges and up to 5 years in jail. The FBI takes internet piracy very seriously, and they are cracking down by punishing people and businesses with criminal and civil penalties. Ratting is when someone remotely accesses a person's computer and takes control of it to steal personal information and invade an individual's privacy. Service providers are limiting the amount of data download and monitoring and capping download. According to GigaCom, 60% of ISPs are capping usage.
Legal alternatives for Amazon.com. The headquarters is located in Seattle, Washington State. Amazon.com was incorporated by Jeff Bezos in 1995. It is one of the largest online retailer electronic commerce compared to other retailers. iTunes was made by Apple Incorporation. It is a media player and a media library that plays, downloads, organized digital, audio, and video. And the only way to obtain media or software is that users have to purchase before downloading any multimedia or keep any items.